Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are opening up a set of documents that performs a truly unusual analytical junction.
It really is, a very surprising one.
We're tackling these deep, philosophical reflections drawn from Christian doctrine, specifically 1 Corinthians 16 and 1 Timothy 6.
Right, and seeing how these very high-level spiritual teachings translate directly into, well, two of life's most granular, challenging areas.
Personal responsibility and hands-on, meticulous financial management.
And that juxtaposition, that's the whole key to this deep dive. Our mission isn't just to summarize these texts.
No, not at all.
It's to extract these powerful, universal principles for transparent financial stewardship. And the source argues these rules apply everywhere.
Whether you're managing a huge corporation's budget
or a small family's monthly cash flow, or running an institution like a church, a hospital, school, it doesn't matter. What immediately grabbed my attention, and I think yours too, is how the source forces this connection between the highest theological doctrine, the power of the resurrection, and the most, mundane administrative task.
Balancing the book.
Balancing the books, exactly.
Okay, let's unpack that proximity, because it really is shocking when you see it. The source makes a pivotal historical point.
It does.
In the original New Testament manuscripts, the victorious, almost ecstatic discussion about Christ's resurrection, it wasn't separated by a chapter break from Paul's very pragmatic teaching on collections.
There's no clean cut, it just flows.
It's a transition from eternal victory to your weekly ledger book, basically executed in a single breath.
And that connects belief directly to behavior. The source calls this the doctrine of resurrection power and financial responsibility.
I like that framing.
The core argument is that because our Lord lives, because this immense power is real, our contributions, our commitment to service,
which includes how we handle our money.
Right. It should never be sudden, disorganized, or, based on some emotional reaction. It has to be motivated by this deep internal commitment that resurrection power drives.
So the spiritual reason is the motivation, but the practical result is structure. And we see that structure laid out so clearly in 1 Corinthians 16.
Yeah, it's very direct.
Paul gives a foundational instruction for proactive personal finance.
Yeah.
He tells the people, on the first day of every week, each one of you is to put aside and save whatever he may prosper.
So that no collections will have to be made when I come.
Exactly. Planned, proportional saving and giving.
And this instruction is revolutionary, especially for that time. So the source asks this great question: what is the connection between this huge theological anchor and a practical task like putting money aside weekly?
And the answer is?
The connection is that discipline is an act of service. If you're disorganized in your finances, you're relying on impulse, on emergency collections.
Right, it's reactive.
But if you are structured and proportional, your giving becomes this disciplined act. It's driven by commitment, not by crisis.
That makes perfect sense. It moves stewardship from a one-off event to, I guess, an embedded lifestyle practice. But here's where the human element comes in. Because poor financial management, even within institutions dedicated to good works, can seriously undermine the whole mission.
It can destroy it.
And the source shifts focus right away to that danger. That improper handling of contributed money can cause the witness of Christian service to be lost.
This is where the accountability principle becomes, ruthless. The analysis states that every organization that handles public or contributed funds, a ministry, a nonprofit, even a community hospital,
any of them,
should be treated like a business. Now, that doesn't mean the goal is profit.
I wanted to pause there because that's a very strong claim. A charity's main metric is social good, not a P&L statement. So what does treated like a business truly imply, if not profit?
It means integrity and standardization. That's the key. The source points out that Paul himself was meticulously cautious.
Citing 2 Corinthians.
Right, 8.2021. He explicitly took measures to prevent even the possibility of an accusation. He refused to handle large sums of money alone.
It's a smart move. Because historically, itinerant ministers were often viewed with a lot of suspicion around money.
So he proactively instituted internal controls. He insisted that the churches elect reliable, independent representatives to manage the finances with him.
So he wasn't just being honest. He was making sure he looked honest. He was preemptively managing suspicion.
Exactly. And that lesson is timeless. Regardless of your ethical foundation, you have to institute checks and balances.
The source really stresses the universality of this.
In any organization, a company, a government entity, a family.
Even a family, yeah.
A school, a church, it doesn't matter. The finances must be auditable, accurate, and completely clear.
And the source notes that money is, arguably the pursuit with the highest failure rate among humans.
It leads to fundamental weakness or ethical breakdown if its handling isn't rigorously disciplined.
So if discipline is the goal, how does the source define the gold standard for accountability? What does that look like?
It's the highest standard of financial transparency, and crucially, it cannot be achieved through verbal assurances.
Words aren't enough.
No, the source states it very clearly. Oral promises are worthless when large sums are involved. Transparency has to be verified through black words on white paper.
Documentation.
Documentation where numbers and accounts align perfectly, adhering to strict standardization. You cannot mix personal funds and public funds. That's where integrity just collapses.
Speaking of black words on white paper, let's look at a case study where an organization literally had to build that rigor from the ground up.
A great example.
The source details this fascinating real-world story from Beipu Church in early 2025. When their longtime accountant retired in January, the pastor had a major problem.
Yeah, a new finance team had to be formed, and the 4 colleagues who volunteered were described as complete outsiders to accounting practice.
So they had no idea what they were doing initially.
They had a massive challenge. They had the mandate for transparency, but they lacked the professional expertise to deliver it quickly. Their solution, which they developed based on sound accounting principles, was a specific, highly formalized internal auditing process.
And it has a very long name.
It does. They called it the Tally Room Counting Offering Accounting Registration Method.
That is a mouthful. Let's just call it the Beipu Protocol for clarity.
Perfect. The Beipu Protocol. It was a system designed for immediate mutual accountability. They brought in specific forms, they used counting machines to ensure accuracy and speed.
So what was the key to it?
The key was that the process involved multiple checks and balances. It was a highly auditable counting process, ensuring that even though the team had no professional background, the accounts ran smoothly and accurately right from day one.
And what's fascinating is that this was so robust and practical that it became a standard, outside their own 4 walls.
It did.
When a video demonstrating the Beipu Protocol was uploaded to YouTube in March 2025, it received affirmation from many people. It essentially became a public blueprint for internal financial checks in similar organizations.
And that case study is the perfect bridge back to the individual.
How so?
Well, if new non-expert teams can implement such a rigorous, publicly verifiable protocol for public funds, how much more simple and maybe more inexcusable is it for us to fail at managing our own singular personal ledger?
That's a good point.
The source connects that institutional rigor right back to personal life by outlining 4 indispensable principles of money management.
Okay, let's go through them. Principle 1 starts not with money, but with attitude, diligence, and work. The source uses the concept of jingye-liye.
Which is more than just working hard.
Right. It's about having a professional, grateful, and even joyful attitude towards your labor, seeking stable income and doing the job well. The diligence is a reflection of respect, not just necessity.
Exactly. And the source implies that if you approach work with true gratitude and diligence, your professional outcomes naturally start to stabilize.
Okay, then principle 2 is honest giving.
This is the voluntary contribution or offering, which must come from genuine willingness in Sixdan Kingyuan. It's not forced compliance.
It's that proportional, planned contribution we talked about earlier from 1 Corinthians 16.
That's the one. Then principle 3 is crucial, shrewd management. This is the nuts and bolts of practical finance.
Budgeting, saving.
Careful calculation, all of it. The goal is to maximize your money reasonably. But here's the critical constraint the source introduces.
Okay.
Avoiding speculation or illegal methods. The primary objective of this shrewdness is not wealth maximization for its own sake. It's about stabilizing the quality of your life so you can function without constant financial anxiety.
That constraint defines the ethical boundary. Shrewdness is about stability and provision, not getting rich quick or taking on reckless risk.
Exactly. And the final principle is generous charity. This is the crucial counterbalance to shrewd management.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you manage shrewdly, but you keep everything, you become a slave to money, a miser. Sharing your blessings is presented as the visible evidence of love and faith that prevents shrewdness from turning into greed.
These 4 principles, diligence, giving, management, and charity, they form a complete loop of stewardship. But after laying out this positive framework, the source pivots sharply.
It does. It introduces a necessary warning.
Quoting the cautionary scripture from 1 Timothy 6, Godliness with contentment is great gain. That's verse 6.
And this immediately raises the stakes. What is the fundamental danger we are guarding against here? The source explains that those who only desire to be rich fall into a series of traps.
Temptation, harmful desires.
Ruin and ultimately destruction. That's verse 9.
And then we hear the famous phrase quoted directly. The love of money is the root of all evil. Verse 10. That is a sweeping statement. Does the source offer any nuance, or is this just a philosophical condemnation of wealth itself?
It's highly nuanced. The condemnation isn't against money, which is just a tool. It's against the love of money, the unrestrained desire for it.
I see.
That toxic pursuit is what leads people astray. It causes great sorrow, and it diverts them from their fundamental values. We are explicitly told to avoid these things if we are committed to true stewardship.
So if the pursuit of material riches is so dangerous, what defines the goal of an abundant life? Because the source is very clear that true abundance is not limited to the material.
Right.
It's not about driving luxury cars, owning multiple properties, traveling all the time, or eating fine food every night. That's just a distraction from the true metric.
And the ultimate insight here is the contrast. Spiritual or heart richness far surpasses material wealth. The entire discussion comes back to that initial instruction.
Godliness with contentment.
Godliness combined with contentment is the greatest source of joy. It far outweighs any material accumulation. True wealth is internal discipline and peace, and it's validated externally by diligent work, accurate management, and generosity.
That brings us to the end of this deep dive into the intersection of faith and finance. Our mandate, as synthesized by the source, seems pretty clear.
It is.
To be a truly good steward in all areas, toward ourselves, toward others, and toward our highest values, by rigorously and proactively applying those 4 financial principles.
And the overarching takeaway is a powerful warning. You have to use your money carefully and avoid the pursuit of wealth as an end in itself.
Lest you become snared by the very tool meant to serve you and stabilize your life.
Precisely.
So that brings us to our final thought. If transparency and accountability are absolutely required for managing public funds and spiritual contributions, requiring that black-on-white verification, just like the BEPU protocol, what internal, transparent, black-on-white accounting system do you need to implement to ensure true integrity in your own personal goals and decisions?
How are you documenting your own commitment? Something to think about this week.